What if I told you that some of the biggest military victories in history were won without firing a single bullet? No elite soldiers, no secret weapons, just rubber tanks, fake radio chatter, cardboard planes, and some of the most audacious lies ever told on a battlefield. Armies have been fooling each other for thousands of years, but the deceptions I'm about to show you are on a completely different level. These weren't small tricks. These were full-scale fake armies complete with fake generals, fake bases, fake soldiers, and they worked so well that they changed the outcome of entire wars. We're talking about thousands of enemy troops sent to the wrong place. Entire battles won before they even started. And in one case, a deception so massive it involved a fake army of 150,000 men that never existed. Stay with me, because number one on this list is arguably the greatest military con in human history, and it directly saved thousands of lives on D-Day. Let's get into it. Number 5. Operation Bertram Monte's magic trick at El Alamein. It's 1942. North Africa. The war is hanging by a thread, and British General Bernard Montgomery needs to break through German Field Marshal Rommel's defensive line at El Alamein. The problem? Rommel is one of the smartest military minds in the world. You can't just charge at him. You have to make him look the wrong way first. So the British did something extraordinary. They built a fake army in the south. Thousands of fake supply dumps were constructed. But here's the genius part. They were built slowly and visibly, so German aerial reconnaissance could watch them grow over weeks and believe they were real. Real tanks and vehicles were disguised as supply trucks and left sitting in the north where the actual attack would come from. Fake pipelines were built in the south, laid at a pace slow enough that German intelligence would calculate they wouldn't be finished until after the real attack date. Dummy tanks were placed in the south by the thousands. Rommel bought every bit of it. He positioned his best armour in the south, waiting for an attack that never came. Montgomery struck in the north with full force and broke through. El Alamein became a turning point in the entire North African campaign. Churchill later said, "Before Alamein, we never had a victory. After Alamein, we never had a defeat." And it started with a lie. Number 4. The Soviet Maskirovka at Operation Bagration. Most people in the West have never heard of Operation Bagration, and that is a crime because it was one of the largest military operations in human history. It's June 1944, the same month as D-Day, and the Soviets are planning a massive offensive against German Army Group Center on the Eastern Front. But they knew the Germans expected the attack to come further south near Ukraine, where the terrain was better for tanks. So the Soviets leaned into that expectation hard. They created an entire fake build-up in the south. Fake radio traffic, fake tank movements, fake supply convoys, all designed to scream, "We're attacking here." Meanwhile, in the north, under complete radio silence, they secretly moved 1.2 million soldiers, 4,000 tanks, and 24,000 artillery pieces into position. Entire armies moved at night. Radio operators stayed behind and kept broadcasting fake signals to make it seem like the units were still there. When the real attack launched, the Germans were completely blindsided. Army Group Center was essentially destroyed in weeks. It was one of the worst defeats in German military history, and the deception was at the heart of it. The Soviets called this concept Maskirovka, a deep military doctrine of deception, concealment, and misdirection. They had turned lying into a science. Number 3. The Ghost Army Artists with Inflatable Tanks. Here's where things get genuinely strange. In 1944, the US Army assembled one of the most unusual units in military history. The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, known as the Ghost Army, was made up of about 1,100 men. Painters, actors, set designers, sound engineers, radio operators, and art students. Their job was not to fight. Their job was to pretend. They carried inflatable rubber tanks that could be pumped up and positioned in fields overnight. From the air, they looked completely real. They had sound trucks with massive speakers that could blast recordings of tank columns, marching troops, and construction noise loud enough to be heard miles away. Their radio operators were trained to perfectly mimic the specific typing styles of the real unit operators they were replacing, because German signals intelligence was good enough to identify individual operators by their rhythm. They would move into an area, set up a fake division practically overnight, let the enemy spot them, create enough noise and signal traffic to convince the Germans there were 30,000 men there, and then quietly disappear and do it somewhere else. They performed 21 deceptions across Europe. Their most important came at the Rhine River in early 1945. 2 real divisions needed to cross the Rhine, but the crossing point was dangerously exposed. The Ghost Army set up a massive fake operation miles away, complete with fake radio traffic, inflatable vehicles, and sound effects of a massive river crossing operation, pulling German attention and firepower completely away from the real crossing. It worked. The real divisions crossed with far fewer casualties than expected. Lives were saved by a bunch of artists with inflatable tanks and a good sound system. The entire operation was classified for 50 years. These men came home and couldn't tell anyone what they'd done. Before we get to the top 2, if you're enjoying this kind of deep dive into history's wildest untold stories, hit that subscribe button right now. I put out videos like this every week, and trust me, you don't want the algorithm burying these from your feed. Number 2. Operation Fortitude North, the army that threatened Norway. Here's something most people don't know about D-Day. The Allies didn't just fake one army. They faked multiple armies across multiple countries simultaneously as part of one giant deception called Operation Bodyguard. Operation Fortitude North was one piece of that puzzle, and it was brilliant in its simplicity. Hitler had 300,000 German troops stationed in Norway, protecting against a potential Allied invasion. Those 300,000 troops were just sitting there doing nothing, while the real war was being fought elsewhere. Churchill desperately wanted to keep them pinned there and away from France. So the British created the British Fourth Army. Entirely fictional. It existed on paper, on radio waves, and in fake communications only. Fake headquarters were set up in Edinburgh. Fake radio traffic buzzed constantly. Unit commanders talking to each other, supply requests, training schedules, all fabricated. Fake agents fed information to German intelligence, suggesting a massive invasion of Norway was being planned. German High Command kept those 300,000 troops in Norway for the entire war. They never moved. They never reinforced the beaches of Normandy. They sat in Norway waiting for an army that was never coming. 300,000 soldiers neutralized by fake radio signals and some well-placed lies. That is efficiency. Number 1. FUSAG. The fake army that saved D-Day. Everything about this story is almost too incredible to believe. By 1944, the Allies are planning the largest amphibious invasion in history, D-Day. They know they can't just land on the beaches. The Germans need to be looking somewhere else. So British and American intelligence cooked up Operation Fortitude South, and at the center of it was a completely fictional army called FUSAG, the first United States Army group. FUSAG on paper was enormous. 150,000 soldiers, tanks, aircraft, landing craft, all poised to invade at Pas de Calais, the narrowest point of the English Channel and the most logical invasion point. The Germans were absolutely certain this was where the blow would fall. But FUSAG didn't exist. The vehicles were fake. The bases were fake. The radio traffic was entirely fabricated by hundreds of operators running a 24-hour fictional army across the airwaves. Fake invasion craft were anchored in ports near Dover, visible to German reconnaissance aircraft. Fake infrastructure, fuel depots, ammunition dumps, command posts, was built up along the southeast coast of England. And then the Allies did something genius. They made the Germans' most trusted spy in England, a man called Garbo, confirm all of it. Except Garbo was actually a double agent working for the British. He'd built so much credibility with German intelligence that when he reported FUSAG was real and Pas de Calais was the target, they believed every word. To command this fictional army and make it credible, they gave it the most feared American general the Germans knew, General George S. Patton. Patton was seen publicly in England, photographed. His presence alone told the Germans this is real, They wouldn't waste pattern on a fake operation. D-Day launched at Normandy on June 6, 1944. The Allies got a foothold. But here's where the deception became truly extraordinary. Even after the landings began, Garbo contacted his German handlers and told them Normandy was a diversion. The real invasion was still coming at Pas de Calais. Fusag was still waiting. Hitler believed him. He held back his most powerful panzer divisions from counterattacking at Normandy for critical days, waiting for the real invasion at Pas de Calais that never came. By the time the Germans realized the truth, the Allied beachhead was secured. Historians widely believe that without Fusag, without Operation Fortitude, D-Day could have failed. The fake army didn't just fool Hitler. It may have won the Second World War. So there you have it. 5 fake armies that changed history, proof that sometimes the most powerful weapon on a battlefield is a well-told lie. What gets me about all of these is the sheer creativity involved. These weren't just tricks. They required understanding exactly how the enemy thought, what they feared, what they expected, and then feeding that back to them with total precision. If you want more videos like this, untold stories, military history, the moments that changed everything, subscribe right now and hit the bell so you never miss one. I drop new videos every week, and the next one is going to be just as wild as this. And if you want to go deeper on any of these stories, drop a comment below and tell me which one you want a full dedicated video on. My money's on the Ghost Army. Those guys deserve their own documentary. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.